Hello world, it's Berto Prey 5 and welcome to BedLife for July 11th, 2019. Qapla. And yes, the no green screen again today. John Araki was first. John Araki was so close that he hit number 1. Had he bothered to type HI like Thomas did as number 2, he surely would have been number 2. But John Araki and Thomas's comment appeared within a fraction of a second of each other. But John Araki, yes, you did get first place. Pressing that number 1, and only that number 1, seemed to benefit you. Good job. We've got a super chat. Thank you, Thomas Potts. Thomas Potts just donated $1.99 via a super chat, and he received one of the many, the turd ton of random animations and sounds I set up on Streamlabs for the super chat donations. Thank you so much, Thomas. Thomas says it's July 11th. No, it's July 7,985th. Okay, Thomas, we understand. You know what, Thomas? You're right. I don't know the details of the Potts calendar, the Julian calendar, the one we use. I understand. The Potts calendar, it eludes me. One day I will figure out this calendar system that you've invented that puts Christmas and the beginning of summer and Thanksgiving and Martin Luther King Day, all within hours of each other. Yeah, it'll take some doing, but I'm sure I'll get it eventually. I'm pretty good with numbers and patterns. Let me get my tablet finished going up here. Switch on over to live chat for those who remember, and you will see we've got our little dedicated section on the side there now for our comments. Doesn't overlap the view screen, and we've got the Star Trek Picard poster as our current sidebar, which, yeah, that was revealed. I'm sure most of you have seen it already, if not everyone has seen it already, but we'll get into that poster in a little bit and what it tells us about Star Trek Picard. Commander Ironwolf was number 3, and John DeMarco number 4, and John Araki was also number 5. He was also number 1, but number 5 he did it as Qapla bird. Qapla, John Araki. Your instincts were correct. You did not have time to type out an answer. So you just that one, it cemented your spot. Josh Street is in the house, says First Nun Karogan. First Nun Karogan. You're the first non-Karogan? No, that's not. Thomas is certainly not Karogan. Captain Cat did not get the notification, damn it. Captain Cat, you were here within 1 minute of me starting. Less than 1 minute of me starting. So don't worry, you didn't miss much. I was with Captain Cat. You know what? Let me push this into the chat. For those of you who have not already done so, no, that can't be the correct URL. I will be right back. Certainly this won't harm anything. What happened? Oh, Cinnabon ended his stream. Okay. Oh, and I got another super chat. Thank you so much, John Araki, with a $1 super chat. I greatly appreciate it. Okay, let me get this URL, and there we go. We're coming on back to my own page, and we got these things down. We're going back to live chat. For a couple hours, I was watching. I was busy, but I had on in the background, and I was watching Cinnabon. Check out his channel. He was broadcasting a couple hours of playing Space Engineers this morning. Captain Cat was there as well, and he was explaining all the stuff he does, the many hours he has put into Space Engineers. And for those who are not aware, Cinnabon and Wesley Crusher and Captain MKG, and I'm not sure who else, but the best players in the game, the best players in Space Engineers, decided to leave both Karoga and Turdistan, and they formed their own faction. And Cinnabon confirmed this only moments ago, that they do have hostile intentions towards both Karoga and Turdistan. They have already created a base on the moon from which Cinnabon is building a railgun to attack anti-trackers and my bases from the surface of the moon. They won't even have to come in close. They can just nuke us from the moon. This is a disturbing development, and clearly Anti-Tracker and we may have to team up. We may have to team up to survive in Space Engineers. I'm not sure. I'm not sure exactly how it's going to work out, but yes. Yesterday when I heard that they had left, I was like, oh, I wish them luck. And today I hear, no, they are aiming. They have specifically built their base directly over our bases, so they have line of sight from the moon. I guess the moon in Space Engineers is tide locked or in geosynchronous orbit or something. I don't know how that works, that they can build a base directly over our base on the moon, but that's what they're saying. So yeah, we might have some fireworks going off soon in Space Engineers. Yeah, and I wish them luck. Where are we? Josh Reed says July. Thomas, it's October. The Potts calendar, it's a tough one. Thomas is October. Son of a bitch, you're right. Cinnabon Bunny says hello, Cinnabon. No hard feelings. Even though you've decided to aim your weapons on my base. Okay, we should hammer out a peace deal, right? Why? The real menace in Space Engineers is Turdistan. I think you guys understand that, but we're gonna have to talk. We're gonna have to talk soon. Commander Ironwolf says, Captain Cat, how did you get here so early if you didn't get notification? And Captain Cat says, Cinnabon Bunny, I was on his live stream watching him. He said he was shutting down because Bird was going live. Oh, Cinnabon, you didn't have to shut down because I was going live. I'm sorry. I had to stream early this afternoon because I have physical therapy later this afternoon. So I fully intended to put the link into your stream so people could check it out regardless of whether you were streaming or not. But thank you for coming here, Cinnabon. I do appreciate it. Thomas Potts says, I'm from the future, Mr. Cortez. Josh Street says, Bird, it's not an hour of each other, it's mins. It's not an hour of each other. It's minutes. I don't know what that was referenced to.
No, you said all the holidays, the dates.
Oh, all the holidays are within hours of each other. Oh, it's minutes of each other. Okay, yes, the POTS calendar. That's freaky.
I've got one hanging on the wall.
Oh, Mama Pray has one hanging on the wall. Apparently, it's. I thought it was some type of crazy drawing I did when I was, 2 years old, and didn't know what the hell I was drawing. But apparently, that's actually a POTS calendar. I never thought to ask. Commander Einwolf says the only difference between the Gregorian calendar and the Julian calendar is that every 100 years we skip 1 or 3 leap years. I can't remember. Yeah, they're really close. There was a news story about a woman who had immigrated from, I don't know, Ukraine or Georgia, one of the former Soviet republics. And when she was born like 90 years ago, they still used the Julian calendar. And so they were like a month and a half off from the rest of the world. And when she came to the United States and she had to put down her birthday, she entered her birthday as like July something, which it would have been in her home country. But in the United States, that actually turned out to be August something. So she has 2 different birth dates in the system. Her Social Security card has one date, and her passport has another. And so she's been unable to get, and her insurance has another date. So she's been unable to get her insurance benefits because they keep getting denied because the birth dates don't match, and she's had a really hard time with Social Security trying to get it fixed. So she went to the news, and the news presented it as a success story that, oh yes, we helped her. But basically, no, they didn't. The only thing they said was basically she has to use the fake birthday. Okay, she has to use the wrong birthday. Social Security has no mechanism in place to change your birthday. Okay, if somebody put it in wrong and you didn't notice it within 30 days, that's it. You are stuck. The government has declared your birthday as whatever day it's in their records, and that is that. These days we're kind of used to things being right, all records being right. But even my own grandmother, the date that the government thinks she was born and the date she actually was born is like 2 days off. Because back in the day when she was born, the hospital was closed. So there was no birth date. They didn't get I don't know, the hospital, the doctor, whatever it was. She didn't get her birth certificate for a couple of days. The mother couldn't get the birth certificate for a couple of days until after she was born. So the birth certificate lists her being born one day, but her actual birthday is another. So it's weird little things that now with computers, like, oh, well, that date, that's an uneditable date in our database. So, nobody can change it, which I get. But also, systems weren't perfect. There should be ways to fix these things. But Thomas is being from the future. I'm Mr. Cortez, so I guess I marry a certain woman named Cortez and take her name, or I changed my name to Cortez. Either way, I hope I get some privilege. John DeMarco says, I can't say I ever thought of Picard as a dog person. No, I have to say, I don't think Picard is a dog person. Commander Ironwolf says, I haven't seen it, and you can't see it because it's covered up by comments. Well, Commander Ironwolf, if you can't see it, if you haven't seen it, then God knows who else haven't seen it. So let's bring it up. This is it. This is the the Star Trek Picard poster as it was released. Okay, well, let me let's see. How can I do this without me in the way? But yes, it is a photograph of Patrick Stewart on what looks like his vineyard, overlooking the vineyard, wearing boots, like big black boots, and a trusty dog at his side with the barrels of wine, I guess, behind him, and vines growing onto the barrels. I don't think that's how they store wine either today or in the future, but we get the familiar Chateau Picard, this building in the background, some other buildings in the background over here that are definitely futuristic. This is France. We got the Picard logo with the Starfleet insignia as the A, which is actually pretty cool. I mean, if you're going to name it Picard, although I guess this is just a lens flare. It almost looked like there was this big planet in orbit. Now, clearly there wouldn't be a planet or a moon so close to Earth, but I suppose this is just lens flare. So the rumors, what I heard through Nerdrotic and Doomcock, and granted, even they admit they're just rumors, is that this is going to be an action series, that Patrick Stewart wanted to be an action hero, and that this episodes, because they've already filmed quite a few of the episodes, if not all of the episodes, they've filmed quite a few. It's an action-heavy, and you know what? It's believable because it's what he wanted to do in First Contact. It's what he wanted to do in the movies, right? He wanted to get out there. He wanted to do more things. He wanted to be an action star, even though he's the most cerebral of all the Trek characters, perhaps, certainly of the Next Generation cast. That's the opposite of what really fans think of him. But he wanted to drive that dune buggy in Nemesis, and so he got to drive his dune buggy. He wanted to do things. He gave feedback on these movies, and now he's got unprecedented amount of power, apparently, with this show, and he wants to be an action star, so you know what? You can be an action star. At his age, yes, at his age. You know what? I mean, God bless him. If he can do it, probably it is a lot of stunt doubles, but if he can do it, let's see. I'll see. I can't say the show stinks yet, but it probably does, considering the people behind it. But I will watch them. I will give them a fair share. I will give them a chance, and I will review them when they come out, because it's Star Trek, and I'm a sucker that way. Not a lot of. I'm not sure there's any other series, like even The Simpsons. I've said F it at this point. Okay, The Simpsons, which I was loyal to for 28 of their 30 seasons. Absolutely loyal to. Okay, and then in the 29th season, I was like, eh. And in the 30th season, I was like, nope, screw you guys, I'm going home. Even The Simpsons, I've rolled away from, shut the door on, don't give a shit about. I mean, I'll occasionally watch it if it's on. The old episodes, sure, I still love the old episodes. Anything past season 29, dead to me. Star Trek, not yet. Not yet. The one series I grew up with that and Futurama. If Futurama ever came back, I would give them another chance too. Although Futurama isn't nearly as old as The Simpsons. But yeah, Star Trek is the only thing I ever grew up with that I'm still willing to give a chance. Okay, so let's see. So apparently this needs to come over a little. There we go. So we're not behind the chat. Very cool. Okay. That's good. So let's come back to the cockpit, and I'm getting behind on the comments now. Captain Irewolf says, and I still don't see it because it's covered up by comments. Well, hopefully you've seen it now, Commander Irewolf. Captain Cat says to John DeMarco, well, he's like 90. Maybe it's a service dog. It's not a service dog. It's not a service dog, though that would be funny. That would be funny. I don't think they need service dogs. John Street says Bird Thomas is a Karogan due to Thomas's real name being Sassy. That is. There's so many things wrong with that statement, Josh Street. John DeMarco says good point, Captain. Also, let's put a Starfleet symbol on the dog just in case we forget it's Star Trek. Yes. There's a Starfleet insignia hanging from the dog's collar, which, as Nerdrotic pointed out, if we were to believe that Picard was so angry with Starfleet that he left Starfleet, why would he have a Starfleet insignia on his dog? Presumably that picture would have been from before he went back to Starfleet. So yeah, it doesn't make a hell of a lot of sense that he'd want to remind himself of the things. Also, and again, this is rumor I heard from someone else who heard. But apparently what I had suspected and what most people talking about it suspected, at least that I had heard, is that indeed Section 31 is the bad guy. Section 31 was responsible somehow for the whole Romulus incident, Romulus exploding. And I believe that I think it's a pretty fair bet that what tested and what drove Captain Picard or Admiral Picard or Ambassador Picard, whatever the hell he was, what drove him out of Starfleet was the discovery of Section 31. I think when he first realized or discovered that Section 31 was a real thing, that Section 31 existed, that it had existed for centuries, that it had been there during the Dominion War, the Borg attacks, and that it was even responsible for genocide and at least attempted genocide of the founders and all these terrible things. And the straw that broke the back, I guess, was the literal destruction of Romulus, and they seemingly got away with it. I think that just broke Captain Picard. I think that he realized his entire life he was loyal to Starfleet, and he realized that, oh my God, they did not have the ideals he thought they did, and I'm sure he felt like an idiot for all these speeches he gave on how holier than thou Starfleet and humans had become, only to find out that, oh my God, we're really no better than the Cardassians, except they're up front about their genocide, and we hide behind a secret organization and false flag attacks. Is it supposed to be political? Is it supposed to be current? Could be. You know what? It's not the worst idea. Because Captain Picard would be a person who would break Captain Picard more than Captain Sisko, more than Captain Kirk, more than Captain Archer, more than Captain Janeway. Somebody was asking me what Starfleet captain would be the one most likely to have a moral impediment, incompatibility even, with even a notion of a Section 31, it's Captain Picard. Right? I mean, I think we would all agree with that. So it's not the worst idea. I don't like that they're relying so much on Section 31 in Star Trek Discovery, that they relied on Section 31 in the JJ movies, and now they're bringing Section 31 back for Captain Picard, and they're going to be doing a Section 31 series, apparently. Why all of a sudden, right? Was Section 31, I mean, yeah, it was interesting on Deep Space Nine. It was like a sideshow on Enterprise. There were a couple of episodes, but I don't know. Somebody sunk their teeth into Section 31, and it apparently to them, it's like the golden goose or something. That whatever they think they can throw Section 31 on is going to make money. So, I don't know. Section 31 was great in theory, but it had to be used sparingly, like Q. Right? You can't have Q in every episode. And you can't have Section 31 in every episode. You can't have a series on Section 31. It loses. I mean, Discovery killed Section 31 for all intents and purposes because everybody knew it. And that was the whole point. It was like, well, what's the hell's the point of having Section 31 if everybody knows it? You've completely lost what Section 31 was about. Section 31 no longer fits in canon, because we knew the canon of Section 31 at Enterprise, we knew this canon of Section 31 at Deep Space Nine, and it should have been a secret organization that entire time. And then with Discovery, of course, Discovery doesn't fit, so whatever. Shromore says, Bird of Prey 5, Section 31 would look at Janeway and say, good, even we wouldn't do that. What the hell is wrong with you? Good God. Even we wouldn't have done that. What the hell is wrong with you? I don't know if Section 31 would do that. I'm still going through the chats in order, but because Shronmore used that Bird of Prey 5, I was able to see it beforehand. Cinnabon Bunny says, I ended when you started so Captain Cat could come watch a real streamer. Lol. Cinnabon, you're a real streamer too. Less subscribers for sure. But you were talking the entire time. You were telling us what was going on. That is no small feat. And you are definitely a real streamer. Smaller, but real. Don't deny that to yourself. Not Ryan Johnson says, hello and Qapla. Not Ryan Johnson. Hope everyone is having a most excellent day. Thank you. I am exhausted. I slept, but then I woke up at like 2 a.m, and I was like, let me just put some random movie on. So I was going through my collection. I didn't have my glasses on, so I just like hit up, down a few times. Like, yeah, whatever it's on, it'll play. And it turned out to be Ferris Bueller's Day Off. And I haven't seen Ferris Bueller's Day Off in 25 years. And when it came on at 2:15 in the morning, I ended up watching it all the way through. So I don't even know. I'm assuming it's like a 90-minute movie, perhaps. So yeah, and then it was another half hour or so after it ended before I actually fell back to sleep. So I had a fairly big break in my sleep last night. So yeah, it exhausted me. But Ferris Bueller's Day Off, it still stands up, I gotta say. An enjoyable movie, still to this day. You younger people who've never seen it definitely need to. You don't know what you're doing. Another movie, which, by the way, completely off topic, but another older movie that 100% stands up to modern, and I didn't think there was any way in hell this movie was going to stand up. I thought I was going to watch this and be like, oh my God, how did I ever watch this? This is terrible. No, I watched this movie, it was like a year ago, but it's still the original Adventures in Babysitting. Now, Disney or somebody did a remake like a year, 2 years, 3 years ago. That's crap. Okay, that's crap. The original Adventures in Babysitting, I assume it came out somewhere in the 80s. Amazing. It's still a good movie. Nothing is dated. It just looks like a period piece. If I was to make a movie about the 80s today, that would be, that would be a good movie. It would be a good period piece. So Adventures in Babysitting. Surprised. I was surprised by that. Cinnabon says, thanks, Bird. You are welcome. Captain Katz is trained by Starfleet because they're so inclusive. Captain Katz is traitors. He's talking about Cinnabon and Wesley. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I understand. Anti-Tracker and I haven't been in Space Engineers nearly as much as we had hoped. And listen, they put in all the hours. They were building these tremendous bases and these starships to the moon. And Anti-Tracker and I had all to do to shoot ourselves. We were involved in petty squabbling on the planet. And so they figured, they saw a path to a better future. So good for them. Sean Moore says, Bird of Prey, I think that First Contact set up a different timeline. Enterprise and STD being in a new timeline. So I have no problem with the more prominent Section 31 in those shows. Ditto Kelvin. Yeah, that theory proposed by Anti-Trekker, I get it. I'd like to see it as a new timeline, but I'd like to see, okay, Enterprise was in a new timeline, but the JJ films don't fit into the canon of Enterprise, and Star Trek Discovery doesn't fit in any canon. Star Trek Discovery neither fits in the JJ canon, nor the Enterprise canon, nor the original series Next Gen DS9 Voyager canon. So Discovery is a bastard child regardless of the timeline. Enterprise can be saved by this. You can write off the Enterprise issues with a timeline, with a multi-timeline thing. Although I would argue that the maybe the Enterprise First Contact does it because they go way back, right? They go way back to the past, and that could have changed everything. That could have been what made Enterprise that time a front in the temporal Cold War, that ridiculous thing that we had. That could be why Florida to Venezuela got zapped by a Xindi probe that we'd never ever heard about before, because it just didn't happen. The only problem with all that, of course, is that they ended Enterprise as a simulation taking place within an existing Next Generation episode. So, how different could the timeline be if the events of the Star Trek The Next Generation episode where Riker finds, where Riker's old captain comes and they find that cloaked ship inside a meteor or an asteroid, how different could the timelines be? I don't know. J-Boss is also calling them traitors. J-Boss is a railgun from the moon. Wimps. Cinnabon Bunny is laughing. Thomas is down with the traitors. Captain Sass says, get your gun, Bird. Well, I could get my gun, and I could aim it at the moon. But even I know that is futile, okay? That is futile. Wow, I am way behind. John Street says, Bird, that's no moon, it's a space station. Captain Cat says, find the SOBs. Yeah, they're up. They're on the moon. I don't need to find them. I know where they are. I just have nowhere to get to them. Thomas says, can you build a base underground? I could, Thomas, if I had the time and I had the know-how. J-Boss is laughing. Just drop space rocks on you. Yeah, it could be. John Street says, Thomas, yes, you have to dig out the room to build. John Iraqi says, hashtag ban Cinnabon. Oh, ban Cinnabon, yes. No, I'm not going to ban Cinnabon. Especially not Cinnabon spelt how you spelt it, because that Cinnabon is delicious and sweet. Cinnabon, the trader, the explorer, is with an S. An S, not a C. Chris Purser says, Bird of Prey 5 is the turning point where the Klingons and Starfleet finally sign the peace treaty and unite the neutral zone against the Cardassian fleet. It could be. It could be that turning point. Peace in our time between Kurdistan and Karoga, it might be necessary for mutual assured survival. Addy in Stereo, out of order here, says, so Enterprise was a holodeck episode. Not the entire series, but the series finale of Enterprise was shown to be actually just a hologram, a holodeck program that Riker was running at Counselor Troy's request or suggestion to understand, to make a very difficult moral choice during one of the TNG episodes that had taken place, that we had seen years earlier. So it was a shitty thing to do. Shitty for the Enterprise cast, shitty for everybody who were fans of Enterprise. I thought wouldn't it be cool to see Commander Riker and Counselor Troy? Yes, but not in that way. Not in that way. That was weak. If they wanted to bring them in, they could have had them there in the background of the Federation being formed, and they would look at each other and we would see them, but we wouldn't know who they were, and we would know that there was some unknown mission that we had never seen before, but at some point, Troy and Riker had to come back in time travel to make sure that the signing of the Federation actually took place, right? We would know that, hey, there's a story out there that we haven't seen yet, but we know who they are. No one else does. That could have been cool. And Cinnabon says, we sent a peace agreement, I think. I'll have to check that out, Cinnabon Bunny. Shramor says, greetings, Bird of Prey 5 and fellow nerds, and greetings to Mamo Prey 5. Thank you very much. Thomas says, if I was them, I would wait until Bird of Prey, Anti-Tracker and Bird of Prey hurt each other so much. It's easy to take Bird of Prey and Anti-Tracker out. Well, here's the thing, Thomas. It's already easy for them to take us out, okay? They are so far beyond us that they could just, they've already been to our bases and looted them or something. So they don't have to wait. Cinnabon Buddy says, no worries, Bird. I have to run to work soon anyway. Not a problem. Thank you again, Cinnabon. Shronwar says, greetings to Sassy, chaser of cats, eater of cookies, stalker of cardinals, defiler of cushions, and scourge of the squirrels. And Shronmore, I don't know if you've seen Anti-Tracker on if you've seen hey Derek McManus. I'll be to your comments in a minute. If you've seen Anti-Tracker on Twitter, but you might have to You might have to get out. Something is technically wrong. Right, yes. Anti-tracker. Is Twitter down? Oh. I don't want to log in. The anti-tracker. Twitter. Anti-tracker. There we go. Really? I can't see unless I log in? What the hell? What the hell? Okay, give me a quick second. Twitter seems down. Oh, well. Well, that sucks. Twitter seems down. Thank you, Addie. Okay, so Twitter's down. So what I was going to say, Shronmore, is that Anti-Tracker posted today on Twitter, at least I believe it was early this morning, he posted a video of him walking Auntie, and Auntie saw a gray bunny rabbit in the distance. And Auntie got into stalker beagle mode. Okay, and Anti-Tracker said in case there was any doubt what beagles were bred to do. And Auntie knew that gray bunny, Bugs Bunny, okay, Anti-Tracker was maybe 40 feet away from Bugs Bunny himself. And Auntie would have been ready to pounce on that poor bunny. But luckily Anti-Tracker held Auntie back with all of his might. And yeah, the bunny, I assume, lived another day. So yeah. No, it wasn't a pink bunny. It wasn't DJ. It wasn't DJ Odyssey. It was a gray bunny. It looked like Bugs Bunny. So yeah, Shronmore, you will have to make some type of similar welcome for Auntie. And clearly she is, I don't know if she's Scourge of the Bunnies, but something to do with the bunnies. Josh Reed says, Cinnabon Bunny, what do you think about space engineers putting an economy into the game? Oh my God, that would be terrible. At least from my thoughts. I don't want economy in any games. Okay, it kind of works in like something like Grand Theft Auto 5, but I don't want an economy in Minecraft. I don't want an economy in Space Engineers. I don't want an economy in City Skylines. Yeah, this is all nonsense. This is just ways for the companies to make more money. Thomas, I thought your friend was coming today since it's Friday. That's on the POTS calendar. In fact, I'm doing a BedLife today instead of a City Skyline stream because he's coming tomorrow. Hopefully. Commander Iron Wolf says, Bird of Prey wanting peace is a sign of weakness. It's strategy, Commander Iron Wolf. Okay, when you're up against a superior enemy, there is nothing wrong with asking for peace. Thomas Potts confirms his Twitter isn't working either. And Shronmore says, I have seen packs of beagles in action. They are used to hunt foxes in Ireland. 30 beagles barking like maniacs jumping into your garden is a sight to see. Wow. Cinnabon Bunny Josh, I have no idea how that would work with no NPCs in the game. I thought you could build an NPC. In fact, I was pretty sure an NPC character was an option in the... Captain Katz is laughing at Thomas. And Addie in stereo says, show your tits. No, thank you, Addie. Hard pass. Thomas Potts says, remember, Saturday the 5,000th is the 5,000th anniversary of the landing on Pluto. John Araki says, Juluja, the whole month of pissing. Jaluja, the whole month of pissing. Addie in stereo says she should be using the Gregorian date. Well, she didn't. John Araki says, bad Addie. Addie saying, where's my wrench? With a mouth like that, you want a wrench? You want a wrench. Jesus Christ, a wrench. John Araki says sassy hunts. Thomas Potts says Karoga hospitals are closed Monday through Saturday. Addy in Stereo says, oh, that's under the other account. Don't worry, you got it. You got it now. Chris Purser says, Thomas Potts, you forgot that Sundays are only half days. No, the Karogan medical system is 7 days a week. This is fake news. And Captain Cat says hi to Addy. Addy says, I would tell you what time I'm going live tonight, but you probably see 6 hours ahead, too. That is an inside joke, because Captain Cat often tells Addy that he sees checkmate in like 5 moves, or 6 moves, or 12 moves. Addy does a bunch of chess streams, which are a lot of fun. So check out Addy in Stereo when you get a chance. Subscribe to him. He's a good friend. And I often go to his chess streams whenever I'm available. Chess, as in the game, CHESS, not chest, as in the body part. I would not have any interest in seeing Addy's chest. But him playing chess, that would be fun. Now, if he brought his girlfriend over and he wanted to do a chess stream, I'm not necessarily against that. Chris Berzer says Doomcock's edit of the Picard poster is more appropriate. You know, I haven't seen it yet, Chris. I have not seen it. I'll have to check Twitter. Thomas says, see, the D means the dog is dumping on Picard. Commander Ironwolf says, I thought Archer was the one that had the dog. When did Picard get a dog? Well, apparently Captain Picard was very moved by Captain Archer, and he realized he could learn something from the great Captain Archer. So he said, you know what? Captain Archer was pretty good. I should get a dog. Anti-Trigger says, Bird of Prey 5, Twitter works fine on my phone. Oh, you've got the one last remaining Twitter access in the entire country, Anti-Trekker. Use it well. Captain Cat is laughing. Joseph Patrick says, BedLife, today with more brown screen. Good evening from the future, Joe, Mamo, Prey, Sassy, and Chat. Thank you so much, Joseph. John Araki says, Picard's a fish person. He was. Surf Tricktronics, welcome Surf Tricktronics, says, lame space wine. Captain Cat says, cause Commander Iron Wolf, it's a service dog. Picard is like 200 and needs help. John Araki says, if the dog is not named Q or secretly is Q, I'm going to be pissed. That would be something. Chris Purser says, Commander Ironwolf, thanks to John Wick, dogs are popular again. I've never seen John Wick. John Araki says, oh man, Picard is the dog's name. The show is not about Jean-Luc. Oh, they could pull the old switcheroo. And Thomas is saying the best place to donate to Bird of Prey 5 is at the antitrekker.com. Is at antitrekker.com. Half true. The second best place is at antitrekker.com. The best place to donate to me is at birdofprey5.com, where you can use PayPal, Streamlabs, or Subscribestar if you're interested in becoming a monthly subscriber. Also, there are a turd ton, because I don't want to use the S word, a turd ton of animations I uploaded this morning. So any super chat, you've got like, I'd say there's probably 20 different animations that you might see at random. Some all with custom sounds. So I was proud of that. That'll keep us busy for a while. I do like that idea of Q being the dog. Captain Cat says Rambo Picard with his dog. It might be. John DeMarco says Red Letter Media predicted the action Picard will be punching board cubes. Chris Berzer says, wait, an action hero at 90 years of age, wouldn't going to the washroom be an action sequence? He's not 90. He's not even 80 yet. I think he's 78. Alexa, How old is Patrick Stewart?
Patrick Stewart is 78 years old.
Yep, 78.
Born on July 13th, 1920.
July 13th. Oh, his birthday's in 2 days. Patrick Stewart's birthday is Saturday, this Saturday. So he's gonna be 79. Yeah, he'll be 79 by the time the show comes out. Pushing, getting up there. J-Boss says action star, whom? And Thomas Bond says next James Bond will be 100 years old. I don't know. He's not 90. He's 79 almost. 78.9. Captain Cat says Patrick Stewart is like 85. No, actually, William Shatner is like 80. I think William Shatner is 88. Alexa, how old is William Shatner?
William Shatner is 88 years old.
Yep.
He was born on March 22nd, 1920.
Okay, so Shatner's birthday is in March, and he is 88. So he'll be 88 for a while. Shromore says Bird of Prey 5, Picard got a dog because he wants to make sure Data's effing cat stays the hell away from him. Josh Street says Bird of Prey 5, but birdofprey5.com takes me to an Arabian adult website. That's only 1 in 5 chance of going to an Arabian adult website. Anti-Trigger says Bird of Prey 5, it's not the age of Sir Patrick, it's the age of Picard is 90. Yes, but in Star Trek, a 90-year-old could be the equivalent of a 50 or 60-year-old, because humans are living to 150 years old in Star Trek, right? We saw, even at the very beginning of Next Gen, that Dr. McCoy was still alive. He was 140-something or years old or something like that. And presumably, somebody born 80 years later, 90 years later, like Picard would live to an even older age because of advances in medicine and genetics and all that stuff. But thank you. If he's 90 in the show, that makes some sense. Captain Cat says Picard, if it's like 15 years after Nemesis, is like 100. Rudyard Olejik, welcome. I don't believe I've seen you here before. Rudyard, if I'm saying your name wrong, if you happen to still be here. Patrick Stewart is 79 with a 40-year-old wife. Well, good for him. Good for him. Shauna Rocky says Trek Rubes. Chris Burris says, okay, to be fair, Sir Patrick is 78. However, Jean-Luc looks more like 88. Well, that's true. And Captain Cat says Picard was born in 2305. So, yes. So, if it really takes place in 2399, he's really like 95. 94, 95. Thomas Potts says, in the future Discovery, it's the 30th season, Anti-Trekker is in the nut house. That could be. J-Boss says, old man Picard. Josh Reed says, I stopped watching The Simpsons back when I found South Park. Well, I kept watching both. Rudy R. I'm going to call you Rudy if you don't mind. Rudy says, yeah, well, this Picard show take its place. What year does this Picard show take place in? I was told, I heard that it's going to be the dawning of the next century. So it's like maybe it starts in 2399 and like we will get to the year 2400 during the series. What do you say, Mom? The Age of Aquarius. I got you. John Araki says Patrick Stewart is draining the life force from his young wife to sustain himself. Whatever it takes. Captain Cat says he was about 60 when he took command of the Enterprise D. J-Boss says, I like the animated Star Wars Clone Wars better than Discovery. I don't like how every other year they change everything, especially the looks of the aliens. Yeah, I don't like anything about Discovery. Rudy would say, hey, Bird of Prey, yep, this is my first time catching you live. Happy to be in the chat. Feel free to call me Rudy if you're worried about pronunciation. It's all good. Well, Rudy was my father's name, so I can easily pronounce it. If you're okay with that, It's just easier for me. If you would like to give me a phonetic pronunciation of your name, I will do my best to pronounce it. And thank you for coming. I hope you enjoy it. We've got a little singing coming up. I've already been asked to do a song, but it'll be later. It'll be towards the end. Just a heads up. Captain Cat says, therefore, he was about 75 at Nemesis. John DeMarco says, I think 88-year-old Shatner would be more believable at an action show than Stewart. Yeah, I could see Shatner still jumping onto the hoods of cars. I mean, I did, so why can't he? J-Boss says, I mean the whole franchise and movies. Anti-Trekker says, hey all, welcome Anti-Trekker. Captain Cat says, Anti-Trekker, how are you? Thomas says, maybe the dog is an intelligent life form. Yes, maybe the Ferengi are going to try to figure out if the dog is sentient, like they did in Enterprise. Everybody's saying hello to Anti-Trekker. Anti-Trekker tells Captain Cat he is effed. Well, I assume that is the bad effed Anti-Trekker as opposed to the good effed. Cinnabon says maybe the dog is the new Beverly Crusher. That is so wrong, Cinnabon. J-Bus says, why did he join Starfleet Special Forces? And why did he join Starfleet Special Forces? I don't know that he did. John Araki says, sup, Auntie. Everybody's saying hello to Auntie. J-Boss says, Starfleet Ninja Squad. I don't know if he's going to be an action hero. Is he going to be like physically kicking ass against Section 31? Yeah, you guys don't speak for the Federation, for Starfleet anymore. Ha, ha. And he'll have like Data. Now, see, if Data was with him, I could believe it. Run, Rudy, run before he sinks. John Araki says, Anti-Trekker effed in the A. That's a good question. I don't want to know the answer. Captain Cat says, Anti-Trekker, do you need anything, bro? Rudy says, so Section 31 may have detonated a star. It would seem so. Captain Cat says, bird of prey for a man being effed is a pain in the ass, no matter literally or figuratively. Yes, I guess that's true. J-Boss says Romulus blowing up was lame in Nemesis and is the new one, and in the new ones. Yeah, I was not a fan. Was not a fan of that decision. J-Boss says it wasn't Section 31, it was Karoga selling Romulans bad weapons. Chris Perzer says, I thought Georgiou destroyed Section 31 when she eliminated Control. Oh, no. Section 31 still existed, because, I mean, even in Discovery's own timeline lore, Ash Tyler was still there, and he became the new head of Section 31. So, that's Mamo Prey's ringtone. Tells her to pick up the phone, so she knows what it is that's ringing. J-Boss says moon bases and all. Rudy says, why can't Section 31 just be William Sadler and no one else in the covert organization? Anti-Trigger says, still dealing with insurance jerks. They have all my doctor's notes, but now they want me to go to a physical therapist and prove how hurt I am. However, that will just delay my return to work, since the earliest day to see physical therapy is after the date I'm supposed to get back in the back injections, so I'll have to reschedule the injections. F this crap. Oh, you should, that is, yeah.
Welcome to the world of insurance.
Mamo Prey just said, welcome to the world of insurance. I am so sorry. And why is Anti-Trekker yelling at Thomas? What did Thomas do? No, I'm not going to buy you that would set off Alexa. No. Memory Alpha says it starts in 23.99, so I was right. But I don't think that's what Anti-Trekker was yelling about. I am so sorry about that, Anti-Trekker, but I am not surprised. Josh reads his bird. When will you play Anti-Tracker in the game of FASA Star Trek game? I have no idea what FASA Star Trek game is. FASA Star Trek game? John and Rocky says that sucks to Auntie. And J Boss says, really? Thomas Potts says, no, Bird of Prey, Ducat didn't commit genocide. He saved lives. Build him a statue. I didn't say Ducat committed genocide. I said the Cardassians did. Just to be clear. John Myers also saying sorry to Anti-Tracker. John DeMarco says the overuse of Section 31 by JJ, Kurtzman, etc. is just more proof they don't get the point of Star Trek. Very true. J-Boss says DS9 was the only good Section 31 stuff. Yes, and they used it very sparingly. In the entire series, there was, 2 or 3 episodes where it was even mentioned? Thomas Potts says, Anti-Tracker, sorry to hear that. I would get a new insurance company. You can't in the middle of these things. You can't do that. Rudy says, agreed, J-Boss. J-Boss says, exactly, John. Sean Moore says, Bird of Prey, Section 31, look at Janeway. Oh, okay, I read this one. But I read it out of order. Section 31 would look at Janeway and say, good God, even we wouldn't do that. What the hell is wrong with you? Chris Perzer says, how can they have a Georgiou Section 31 show when Georgiou went 1,000 years in the future? Chris, I'm 99% sure if they do the Section 31 show, and I'm not even sure that they will, but if they do it, we will find out that Georgiou beamed off Discovery at the last second and, kept herself hidden, and she meets up with Tyler after the fact, and Tyler's like, how did you get here? I thought you were in the future. And she's like, I beamed off before we entered the wormhole or whatever. And, she'll be like, don't even tell anyone I exist. That is how secret we need to keep Section 31. So that's my guess. It's very easy because we did not see Georgiou in the future. We didn't see any of them actually get to the future. And we didn't even see Georgiou, on the bridge as they went through the wormhole or whatever it was, whatever they were calling it. I think they called it a wormhole. That's my guess. Anti-Trigger says that Thomas can't switch insurance. This is my disability insurance from my employer. Oh, and the exam is going to cost $450 out of pocket. That is nuts. J-Boss says the canon is absolutely trashed. I still don't get what the reasoning. And Thomas added a quote. What quote could you possibly have added? Thomas says, Anti-Trigger 450, those SOBs. Yep. Says Anti-Trigger. J-Boss says a league of their own. I'm not sure what that was in reference to Cinnabon. Cinnabon and Wesley made a league of their own, perhaps. Anti-Trigger says, oh, by the way, Cinnabon Bunny Strawberry is adorable, and Mrs. Anti-Tracker is going to go nuts when I show her. Oh, very, very nice. I don't know who Strawberry is, but I'm assuming a cat.
I don't know, man.
Sounds like a cat. I don't know. Could be a dog. Could be a ferret. We don't know. It could be a strawberry. Thomas Potts says BBC had today the episode where the warlord inhabits Kess, which is similar to the DS9 episode you reviewed yesterday. Yeah. I didn't watch it. Did not watch it. Usually I put BBC on Mondays and Tuesdays. Cinnabon says Anti-Tricker, thank you. J-Boy says the Adventures in Babysitting is awesome. Defonio, however you spell it, is Thor. Right. Yes, he is. Yeah, the original Adventures in Babysitting is a great movie. Addy in Stereo says Adventures in Babysitting is good. Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead is also still a good movie. Really, anything with Christina Applegate. That's probably true. Anchorman, certainly. Veronica Corningstone. Her most popular Her most popular character ever, perhaps. Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. I've seen that like once. It was a good movie. I don't remember much of it. Shelmore says Bird of Prey 5. I actually think First Contact set up a different timeline. This is another one I had read out of order. Epic Beard says, hey nerds, and Mamo Prey and Sassy, and I guess Bird too. Well, thank you, Epic Beard. Welcome. Welcome. John Araki says Monster Squad did not agree well. Anti-Trigger says, shoot ourselves. You shot me, jerk. And your base shot me, so we're even. Thomas is lolling. Rudy says, weren't the Enterprise uniforms and Mako term used in Star Trek Beyond? Yes. Yes, they were. Mako was used in Star Trek Beyond. I don't know if it was the Enterprise uniform. I don't recall it being the Enterprise uniform. But it could have been a similar one. Regardless, even if they threw it into Star Trek Beyond, that doesn't make it fit with canon. Because you cannot get from the NX-01 to the Enterprise that we saw in the J.J. Abrams universe in 80 years or whatever it is. Okay, the NX-01 was never on track to become the J.J. Abrams Enterprise. The NX-01 was on track to become the Constitution class that we saw in TOS and later Trek movies. But it was never, there's nowhere you go from the NX-01 to the J.J. Abrams starships. It just doesn't happen. Epic Beard says STD needs to be shot with a cannon. Also, Enterprise had real Klingons, right? They had actual Klingons, not the crapo we see in the JJ verse or Discovery. In fact, if the JJ verse was following Enterprise canon, then the Klingons would have smooth foreheads. They would have had smooth foreheads. Anti-Trigger says, Rudy, just because it says Mako does not mean it fits. After all, STD uses the term Starfleet, and it does not fit. That is true. Thomas says, except Enterprise tech is more primitive. STD tech is so far advanced for the TOS era. Yeah, I mean, I can understand going from Enterprise tech to TOS tech. It was a good, they did a good medium between the two. But even from TOS tech to Discovery tech is infinitely more complex and unbelievable. So to go from Enterprise tech to STD tech, that's a mind F. J-Boss says Next Generation was the best. They shouldn't have changed it too much. DS9 and Voyager were both good ideas to keep it going. But all this new stuff, and then the comments jumped. But all this new stuff is eh. J-Boss, are you Canadian? Is eh. Addy in Stereo says, so Enterprise was a holodeck episode. I answered that. Just that final episode was. J-Boss says, Star Trek Enterprise has its moments. And yes, it was the Pegasus. The Pegasus was the ship that got lost, got stuck in an asteroid. Thomas is just the last episode. Yosef says, I recognized only one line. If something does not fit, I must use a hammer. A hammer. On Disco, I used a very big one. Lol. I recognize only one timeline. I'm sorry. Only one timeline. If something does not fit, I just use a hammer. On Disco, I use a very big one. Dan23 is in the house. Welcome, Dan23. Says, hey. Thomas spots his bird of prey, shoots at the moon. A bullet comes back down, and gets bird of prey. He blames Anti-Tracker. I probably would, yeah. John DeMarco says, using a big hammer on Discovery sounds like a good idea. Yeah, jackhammer. Rudy says, anti-tracker, oh, I agree, STD uses many SO things that don't fit. I just find it pathetic how JJ and Kurtzman take the laziest path to try and connect their crap with canon, and it's not fooling us. And more important than that, it was never necessary. It was never necessary. There is no reason. If they wanted to reimagine Star Trek, do it. Okay? We're still going to watch. We're still going to watch. Those of us like me and Anti-Tracker and those of us who watch it, we would still watch. We would just hate it a little bit less. Okay? There's no reason it has to fit to canon. You could say we're reimagining Star Trek. We're starting our own timeline. And, for whatever reasons, quantum... we don't know how it's going to fit into the original timeline. That's absolutely fine. They could have done that. Nothing was stopping them. Nothing at all. You okay?
Yes.
Okay. Thunderstorms. No, thunderstorms are coming. Yeah, there was no reason. There's still no reason. They could tomorrow say, hey guys, we thought about it. And you know what? Yeah, we misspoke. Okay, we misspoke. Star Trek Discovery is actually in its own timeline, and all these other shows are going to be in this Discovery timeline. Our bad, mea culpa. That's that. Let's move on. They could still do that. Nothing is stopping them. Josh Reed says, does Turdistan and Kuroga have anybody left that knows how to build spaceships? I don't think so. I don't think so. It's going to be a lot of watching YouTube videos to try and get back in the game. Derek McManus says, hey there, Bird of Prey 5. Welcome, Derek. I think I said hello to you earlier. Anti-Trigger says, Josh Reed, I've been so busy with insurance crap, I have not been in Space Engineers in a week. Yosef says, Rudy, hi, can I ask you where you are from? Your last name caught my attention. It could be Patrick's and the Oy. I'm sorry, I don't want to mispronounce that name too terribly. Perhaps you are not so far apart. John Street says, Anti-Tracker, I hope the insurance SOBs don't waste your time and get back and wait until you get back to work to get off their ass to do something. It would be amazing as long as they get off their ass and do something. That wouldn't be a half terrible outcome. Derek says, haha, 11th might be a big party night here in Northern Ireland tonight. Band parades tomorrow. Oh, very cool. Rudy says, Joseph, I'm from Canada. Family from Poland. Came here in the early 1900s. Oh, very cool, Rudy. Very cool. Dan23 says, there's something wrong on Twitter. None of my messages would go to someone. I guess Twitter is being hacked. Hacked by Turdistani hackers. I'm guessing. Thomas says, well, Auntie is the scourge of the bunnies, so DJ should watch out. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Mrs. Anti-Tracker loves bunnies, but Auntie hates bunnies. So if DJ was to show up at Anti-Tracker's house in a bunny suit, who would get to him first? Would Mrs. Anti-Tracker get to him first and save him? Or would Anti get to him and rip him to shreds? When did you get a wrench, John Meyer? I don't know. I wrench people after I see their names here like 5 or 10 times in a row. You get a wrench. If you don't want a wrench, I can take it away. You're welcome to deny the wrench, but it's yours if you want it. Derek says it's a public holiday. Oh, very cool. John Iraqi says Cinnabon should be careful messing with Auntie. He's been known to violate privacy. Dan23 says private messaging someone on Twitter, but my messages would not send, so I came to YouTube to watch a video. Well, then, Twitter should go down every day I stream. Thomas Potts says, Bird of Prey, my Twitter isn't working either. Anti says, Thomas Potts DJ posted a reply to that. I saw his picture. I thought he retired the bunny suit. Yosef says, Birdo Prey 5, try Rudy's name, Olenek. That should do it. Rudy Olenek. Okay, Olenek. I can go with that if that's true. And Ozzy NF says, Birdo Prey in chat, hello all, every man deserves a Jeep. Disagree. Not every man deserves a Jeep. Some people are not Jeep worthy, and many women also deserve Jeeps. Jeep is not does not discriminate on gender, or sexual orientation, or any of those other classes. Yosef says to Rudy Olenek. I'm from Slovakia, so you get my question. Yes. Josh Reed says, good thing DJ no longer wears the bunny suit. Well, he did in his picture today, and Rudy gives a thumbs up to Yosef. And Stromar says, Birdo Prey 5, I have seen packs of beagles in action. They are used to hunt foxes in Ireland. 30 beagles barking like maniacs jumping into your front garden is a sight to see. And I knew I read that already, but Mama Prey wasn't here when I read it the first time. So I read it again so she could hear it. Yes, Mama Prey would love to see a pack of 30 beagles, as long as they weren't our beagles. Thomas Potts says, my villagers in Minecraft will never need money. So they're communists. Thomas Potts is a communist. It's been settled. He said it himself. Epic Beard says, must be Friday if Twitter is broken. Happy Friday. Don't confuse me like that. And Anti-Tracker said that Twitter's working on his phone. Josh Reed says, Bird, what is Mama Pray 5 going to make for the second Thanksgiving tomorrow? We're going to make an order in all likelihood. Oh, right. He's going to bring... Oh, right. That's right. His wife was going to make raviolis or something. Yes. Yes. Raviolis and meatballs. Home-cooked food, supposedly. I say supposedly because it's been a while. We haven't talked about it. Rudy says, does anyone have the specs on the travel pod from Star Trek The Motion Picture and The Wrath of Khan? Can't find any data to confirm if it has impulse engines or only thrusters. I have no idea. I'm sorry, Rudy. Trek Yards. Trek Yards would be the place to ask. If you ever get on a Trek Yard stream, I don't know. I'm assuming you probably know who they are since they're a much bigger channel than me. But if you ever get on a Trek Yard stream or you ever see Captain Foley or Trek Yards on my stream or Anti-Trekker's stream, they would probably know. If anybody knows, they know. Shronmore says, I hope everyone is ready for Valentine's Day next week. You know, for just a fraction of a second, I believe these things. Shronmore says the Kurogan medical system... Sassy is not happy. The Kurogan medical system only takes a break when it runs out of bullets and has to order more. Thomas is the best place to donate to Bird of Prey 5 is at antitracker.com. J-Boss says, random comment, but I really like the Voyager story arc with Barclay. Yes. I was happy to see Barclay in Voyager. Because I didn't really like much of Voyager. I mean, I didn't like Voyager on the Star Trek scale where I liked lots of things. I still watch Voyager over almost any other program. But compared to Deep Space Nine or Next Generation or Enterprise or TOS, it is not my favorite Trek. The only Trek I'd watch Voyager over is Discovery, which isn't really Trek. Josh Street says, the Kurogan medical system only works 24/7 for Bird of Prey 5. Everyone else has to fight for the one slot a day for doctors to work on them. Well, that's fine. That still means they work 24/7. So I was technically correct. Anti-Tracker says, so Joe is reading the comments in random order. No, Anti-Tracker. I'm reading the comments in sequential order, the order they came in. But if somebody uses an @BirdoPrey5 or does a super chat, I will read them first. Okay? That's how we're going. That's how it works. Stromore says, and I read this, I believe, but Picard got a dog because he wants to make sure Data's cat stays away from him. Yes. Adding Stereo says FYI for people who want to donate. Joe's PayPal name is Zethon. No, that is your PayPal name. Josh Street says Berto Prey 5 for Berto Prey 5. Okay. Joseph Patrick says anti-tracker. Obviously, there must be a random mode since he just reads messages I wrote 30 minutes ago. Not random, I just explained it. John Street says Berto Prey, but BertoPrey5.com takes me. I read that. To an Arabian adult website. An anti-tracker said that it wasn't the age of Sir Patrick, but the age of Picard is 90. Joseph says, folks, hit that like button. If you're not subscribed, do so now. Yes, thank you. Thank you for the reminder, Epic. Joseph, yes. I forget to ask people. I asked people in my ending, but of course I assume most people leave the stream by the time the ending credits start, and I don't blame anybody. But yes, subscribe, like, comment. Check out BertoPrey5.com. A lot of good stuff on there. Soon on soon on the merchandise store will be our own Make Klingons Great Again hat that'll be embroidered and look really good like the Amazon one. But it's going to take a little time to get that up. Addy in Stereo said Berto Prey 5 read this message. Epic Beard says Berto Prey, I am reading random chats. And Thomas says Berto Prey, Berto Prey. Addy and Sarah says now we all have to just using Berto Prey. Right, okay, so now you're abusing the system. So now I read them only when I choose. That's what you get. You're being punished. I'm punishing everybody here. No. Not only punishing the troublemakers. The Epic Beard says even better way to support Berto Prey 5 channel is subscribe to my channel and follow the donation links. Please donate in increments of hundreds. Okay, if that will support me, then check out the Epic Beard's channel and follow his donation links. I assume he's going to give me 50%. We didn't talk about this before, but I'm assuming. Dan23 is in England. Very cool, Dan. Addie says Jean-Luc and Patrick Stewart both have a July 13th birthday. Really? I thought Captain Picard birthday was... Oh no, Father's Day is Captain Picard Day. So it's not his birthday. Okay. I am confused. Thomas Bott says, I think Kirk and Shatner birthday is the same. That's interesting. Dan23 says, a 137-year-old Admiral Leonard McCoy. Thank you, Dan. Yes, that sounds correct. Schoenmore says, I think it's canon that Chekhov at the Academy was still in Starfleet during the TNG era. Well, I don't know how that would be canon, since I don't ever recall Chekhov being mentioned. In beta canon, sure, but I don't know. Joseph says, Berto Prey, if you ever want to watch the credits, do it in the Marvel way and do post-credit scenes. Joseph, I do post-credit scenes sometimes, and on live chats, I do post-credit chats. There have been live streams that have continued past the credits. It's rare, but it happens. Excuse me. Anti-trigger. Anyone see the irony in the breed of dog? It looks like it's a French bulldog, making his effing dog the most French thing about him. I heard it looked like a pit bull. I am not an expert in dogs from behind, so I can't say. But I was heard from knowledgeable people that it looked like a pit bull to them. Maybe a pit bull is a French bulldog. I don't know. Rudy says, hey, Berto Prey. Yup, this is my first time catching you live. Okay, let's see what we got going here. Hello?
Thank you for choosing Visa.
Garbage. Not even a real person we could have some fun with. I hear the thunder. The thunder has come. Not Ryan Johnson is lolling. Rudy says, yep, I read that before, but I will call you Rudy. Thank you, Rudy. Dan23 says the 25th century. That's when it's supposed to take place. The Picard series, although I do believe it's the dawn of the 25th. Like the very end of the 24th. Sharon Moore says anti-trekker. Unless he surrenders to the Romulans, of course, that would be more French. Yes, the 2 Romulans that are left, Picard surrenders to. Not Ryan John, this is Bird of Prey 5. Once you get a kids, just say no to drugs and Jeeps merch on your website. You'll be really pulling in the money. I'll never tell kids to say no to Jeeps, although Jeeps are deadly. Jeeps are deadly. As we all know that, and that's a serious issue, that the guy who played Chekhov on the JJ films died being pinned by his Jeep, right? He got pinned by his Jeep and he died. That was because supposedly he didn't set the shifter into park, because it's an electronic shifter and it easily slips out of gear, and it rolled down his driveway and pinned him against the fence, and he died. But where is it? I could have sworn I put it in here to read. I actually had a news story. There was somebody else who died with their Jeep. He was working on this Jeep, and well, now I've gone through all the stories I was going to show. I'll just get to them. But anyway, unfortunately, a guy in Nevada was killed when his Jeep fell on him during the California earthquakes. And he was under the Jeep working on it. It was on cinder blocks or on a lift or something. And the shaking caused the Jeep to fall. And they didn't find his body for 5 days. So death by Jeep, it does happen. And it is most unfortunate. Well, while we're here, let's see. This is kind of old already. The district attorney for my borough of Queens, the person who claimed victory 2 weeks ago, was up by 1,000 votes. But after they counted the mail-in ballots, she was down by 16 votes. But now they're recounting. Well, then it was revised to 16. And so now they're recounting. So now we're not sure who's going to win. But basically this guy on Twitter was so convinced. Because the person who claimed victory was backed by Bernie Sanders and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. And she was big into their policies. She ran on the policy of not requiring bail for people, just letting people out of jail on their own reconnaissance and shutting down Rikers Island. And I'm all for prison reform. There needs to be prison reform. But Ocasio, excuse me. Anyway, but not how she wants to do it. So anyway, this guy was claiming that his mother was denied the ability to vote because it was a Democratic primary. But he brought his mother to vote with him, but his mother turned out to be a registered Republican. And the guy was like, no, my mother never voted Republican in her life. This is bullshit. They changed it. He was so convinced it was a conspiracy that they rigged the election. And it turned out the mother was not only a registered Republican, a confirmed registered Republican. Her name and her signature on the Republican sign-up sheet from 2008, that she had voted in almost all the Republican primaries up until that point. So I don't know if the mother just got old and confused, or the mother didn't want to admit to her son that she's been voting Republican for the last 20 years or 15 years, whatever it's been. And but once that stuff became public, the son deleted all of his Twitter and stopped answering questions. Shromore says, Bird of Prey 5, I'm sure AOC will find 2 billion votes for her friend. that fell down the back of a sofa. Yeah, I have a feeling. Ozzy says, Berto Prey 5, don't listen to this propaganda spewed by Turtistan. They are worse than CNN. Okay, this is important. This is important. If you have not seen the Star Trek What We Left Behind, the Deep Space Nine documentary, and you want to see it, and you do not live in the United States, right now, you should go to this website. Now, if you live in the United States, you can still get it, but it's not as important because there is another company publishing the Deep Space Nine documentary in the United States, but their version will be hard-coded to only run on US DVD and Blu-ray players, right? Region 1 or Region A, whatever they call it, depending on whether it's a DVD or a Blu-ray. But the rest of the world, you don't know if they're ever going to get a DVD or Blu-ray. So if you get it from this website, this is the original people who created the documentary. They are still selling pre-sales of it. Theirs is region free. So if you live outside the United States and you want to watch this documentary, this is your last chance, really. It could be your last chance. Get it from them. They're the original people. The money goes to them. And you get it. You're going to get a DVD and a Blu-ray copy. And I'm not sure if you also get access to a digital version, but I thought I saw something like that. They're also selling some posters if you're interested. The What We Left Behind poster. And these are actually posters that if you zoom in, have the names of the thousands of people who donated who bought early on, who backed the show, the documentary. So you would see, if you were a backer, you'd already be getting one of these, but you could get one of these posters as well. And down here, this is what you want to order: the Blu-ray DVD combo. It's $35 US, and it is region free. So it's the only way you can watch it legally outside the United States as of now. For those of you inside the United States, it's not a rush because Shout or Fathom or Shout, one of them, maybe both, they're putting out their own version of the DVD and Blu-ray, which will be slightly different. I have the same main features, slightly different extra features. But that'll be coming out. But that will be hard-coded to the U.S. So I wanted to put that out there as a reminder for anybody, because it was a great documentary, and I highly recommend seeing it if you are a Deep Space Nine fan. Okay, this was nothing. Marvel Comics. Apparently Peter Quinn, our own Peter Quinn, I did not know, Peter Quinn is actually a mutant. Yep, Peter Quinn, who is often on my streams, my Discord, Anti-Trekkers streams, Anti-Trekkers Discord. Peter Quinn was pointed out to me by an anonymous source that Peter Quinn was recruited by Magneto to be part of his new Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. He took the name Peeper, and joined a bunch of others after failing their mission and being defeated by Captain America. Magneto abandoned them. So poor Peter Quinn, abandoned by his evil overlord Magneto. Now, I don't understand. Now, I'll be honest. I never read any X-Men comics. The only X-Men I know is from the movies. Magneto was not evil in the movies. He had a difference of opinion, but he was never evil. He would never call himself evil. He would never say he's the leader of the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. So I don't know if that's just something different in the comics, that he has embraced evilness, but certainly the Magneto I saw would never consider himself evil. He would never call his Brotherhood evil. So I don't know. I don't know what's up with that, but I thought I should report to everybody that, yeah, Peter Quinn is indeed a mutant. So be careful. Be careful what you say. I don't know what his powers are. Apparently, I think his power is stalking. He has amazing peeping Tom powers. That's what I can tell about Peeper. I'm assuming. Yeah. So be careful. Keep your window shades closed, and watch out for Peter Quinn. Newsweek. This is a great one. So many places are taking this as a true story when it's complete bullshit. But if you haven't heard, there's this thing going around Facebook where over 200,000 people have signed up claiming that they are going to storm Area 51. Somebody set up a date in August for everybody to meet outside Area 51, and they're all going to go running towards Area 51 with the thought that they can't shoot all of them, and that they're going to run into the base, and they're going to ransack the base searching for the aliens. This was what was a complete nonsense. Should have been ignored by the mainstream media. But in today's day and age, it gets clicks. It used to be if it bleeds, it leads. In 2019, if it gets clicks, it leads. And so here we are. Newsweek, a purportedly real media source, reporting on a Facebook hoax joke about alien hunters planning a raid on Nevada, top secret Nevada Air Force Base. And they say seriously. They say seriously. It's not serious. It is not seriously. But they say seriously. I don't have to read the article. That's the gist of it. 220,000 people have signed up for a Facebook event. A late summer raid on Area 51. Well, they don't even give us the date. To see the aliens by rushing them really fast, en masse, like a cartoon ninja at a secretive Air Force facility. At the secretive Air Force facility. Now, you see, this is one thing I did not know. Area 51, also known as Homey Airport, is infamous for the alien conspiracy theories that have centered on it since the 1950s. Most famously of all, the supposedly stored what was found at the site of the notorious and thoroughly debunked Roswell UFO incident. Okay, first, I had absolutely no idea, and I've watched everything there is to watch on Area 51, okay? I rewatch stuff on Area 51. You know, History Channel, Discovery Channel, Smithsonian Channel, whatever the hell Channel 140 is over here. They're playing stuff about Area 51 and aliens and stuff all the time. I watch specials. I watch YouTube videos. I don't ever in my life ever recall them calling Area 51 Homey Airport. I mean, that's just ridiculous. It's called Groom Lake, Area 51, things like that. The Nevada test site, whatever, but never Homey Airport. And how is it thoroughly debunked? Roswell was not thoroughly debunked. You can't debunk it. Okay, something crashed there. That is true. You can't debunk it. That's fact. Okay, in fact, the news media ran a story that it was a UFO, that it was an unknown flying object. People have testified that they saw bodies of aliens. And then later the government said, oh, it wasn't bodies. It was highly classified weather balloons, and it had dummies. It had dummies in it to simulate what it would be, I guess, if a person was in a balloon or something and was monitoring the Russians, so they couldn't tell us what it was at the time. Bullshit. Okay? I don't know what happened. It could have been a UFO. It could have been an experimental aircraft. It could have been a weather balloon. But something crashed there. So it's not debunked. Okay? This Newsweek, total fake news. How are they even reporting on this? This annoys the hell out of me. The Captain Picard poster, Star Trek Picard poster that we saw earlier, for those of you who weren't here, this is it. This is the new doggy. I don't know. I have an insider that told me the dog's name is Rupert. I don't know. I can't confirm. It's just a rumor. There's going to be Picard and Rupert going to be kicking ass and taking names in the year 2399. And finally, on our news section, the beagle with a beagle on her back. Yes, this beagle has a beagle on her back. You can see the beagle look of a beagle pattern in her fur, and it's a beagle, so it's kind of like Inception beagle. Yes, I am having insiders. An insider. I'm not going to tell you who. I can't tell you their name. I can't tell you anything about them, but an insider. So yeah, this is Beagle. I'm going to call her Inception, but I don't know her real name. And yeah. So yeah, look at that. Look at that cute little thing. Aww. Look at that. So yeah, I had to show that. Okay, you get to see the fish tank for a minute. There we go. Yeah, I missed the fish tank. I missed the fish behind us. Thomas Potts' Memory Alpha says it started in 2399. The Picard show. Dan23 says in the Star Wars movies, Clone Wars was 3 years, but the TV show was for longer. Not surprised. I mean, it doesn't even bother me, things like that. The Epic Beard says, run, Rudy, run before he sings. Rudy says, the Epic Beard, I'm pretty sure he's a better singer than myself. Rudy. Oh, poor Rudy. Captain Cat says, Bird of Prey 5 for a man. Yeah, I read this. Being effed is a pain, no matter literally or figuratively. Epic Beard says, haha, I don't know about that. Joseph says, no, Rudy, stay. It's something every new member must suffer through. Dan23 says, Star Trek sometimes does something and doesn't show how it's happened. I would say that's pretty often and pretty true, and that's fine. Doesn't have to. Anti-Trekker says, you know what's going to be balls to the wall, knockdown, drag out fight between Picard and Georgiou. Just what I want to see, an old man fighting an old woman. And Anti-Trekker yelled, Thomas, because obviously I said something. What? I don't even remember what I said. Let's go. I'm going to go check out. We're going to go check out this. This is what you got to do. If you ever want to see what was the latest crazy thing I said, you go to antitrekker.com, you go to general discussion, and here they are, Bird of Prey 5 quotes, and it will automatically take you to the most recent place you stopped reading. 19 minutes ago, I'm not an expert in dogs from behind. See, that's perfectly fine. If I said I was an expert, that would be something quotable. Also, Thomas put up, that's Mamo Prey's ringtone. It tells her to pick up the phone so she knows that that's what's ringing. Okay, so there we go. Those were the two comments from today. Okay, not terrible. Not terrible, but could be worse. And there's still time. Thomas says, oh, that's what the ringtone is for. Captain Cat says, Bird of Prey, if you buy me... No, I'm not going to buy you that type of car. Not Ryan Johnson, and I won't buy that type of car, Rudy, because if I say that, it will trigger my Amazon device with a very similar name. And I'll have all types of problems, which has happened many, many times before. Ozzy NF says, Bird of Prey, the galaxy is a really big place. Unlikely we are the only ones in it. I agree. And Thomas says, Bird of Prey 5 Twitter must be back. Must be back. Yeah, I saw some people tell me Twitter was back. Thank you. Okay, you know what? Let me go check. Let me check before I bring up the web browser. I should have done that. Yep, here it is. Okay. I should have done this before. But this is Anti-Trekker's Twitter page. And here you can see what he posted. Saw a critter while walking anti the Wonder Dog. Hashtag me poo. But of course the video is not loading. So maybe it's not completely back. But yeah, you guys should all check out twitter.com/antitracker. And you can see this video. I'm not sure, but I would guess Anti-Tracker will play it later on his stream tonight. Tiki of Doom says Qapla, Tiki of Doom. Oh my god, it's 4 o'clock. Okay. Gotta get a hold of time. I got physical therapy coming around 6. I need time to eat and do stuff before that. So, okay, we're good. Dan23 says, in the real world, we use dogs to help in emergency situations and other stuff. Star Trek, I've never seen them do this. That is true. Well, I would imagine by Star Trek days, they've got like robots that can do anything a dog can do. And Thomas put in a link to Anti-Trekker's video on Twitter. Thank you so much, Thomas. Anti-Tracker says, Mamo prays ringtone. Tells her to answer the phone so she knows what to answer. Anti-Tracker says, FASA is a Star Trek tabletop game. Okay, never heard of it. Captain Cat loves FASA. Tiki of Doom says, you don't know what FASA is. Do you even watch Star Trek? I watch Star Trek. I've never seen FASA advertised. Epic Beard says, Proof Bird is half a Trek fan. Doesn't know all the Trek games. Captain Cat says, FASA has the original Star Trek timeline before TNG and First Contact screwed it up. Lol. Sharon Moore says, Kuroga and Turtestan shall put their differences aside and declare war on the traitors who are trying to bring peace and get them back to work together. I think, Anti-Tracker, we might have to team up to recover those who broke away from us. And I don't want to say enslave, but force them back into working for our respective governments. We should talk. Nicole is here. Says Nicole Malo says, court over now. I need a nap. Lol. Kevin Sorbo is needed, as this will be Andromeda Light. Ah, yes, in the Picard series, Kevin Sorbo. That would probably, that wouldn't hurt. And welcome back from court, Nicole. I don't know, do you work in the court? Or were you in court for a particular reason? If it was for a reason, I hope you were victorious. Okay, guys, I need a minute, so I'm going to randomly play something that you guys will not enjoy. No, that's the wrong one. There you go. That's enough punishment when we've turned off the agony booth. Thomas says Nicole was testifying at the grand jury investigation into Karoga war crimes. I don't believe it. Not Nicole. Not Ryan Johnson says, Shromore, I'd pay good money to see Karoga and Turtistan team up. $1 whole. And Captain Cat tells Nicole he misses Andrometer. Nicole says she loved Rami and Harper. I don't think I saw Andromeda. Captain Cat says Harper was nuts. Nicole says low, yes, but he was. Yes, he was, but you gotta love it. And you see, that's what I like, because you do gotta love the nuts. Oh my God. You do have to love crazy people. That's what I meant to say. Captain Cat says, who was the Klingon-like dude? I miss him. Cinnabon says, Strawberry is my 25-pound giant rabbit. Wow. Wow, that is very cool. So Mrs. Antitrigger really does love the big bunnies. Hector says, I'm late. Cinnabon, can we get a picture if you're still here? Can you post a picture on Twitter or Instagram or somewhere you can send me? Fucking Thomas. Thomas posted it already. You can send me a link. I could show everybody if you're interested. I want to see a 25-pound rabbit. Actor says, I'm so late. I'm watching a 2X. Bird really becomes a bird. Captain Cat says 25 pounds. Cinnabon says, yep, he's huge. Life with Matthew says, Qapla bird, how goes the day? Goes well, Life with Matthew. Welcome to the stream. It's going good. We talked about Picard. We talked about some news articles and, general stuff. Sharon Moore says, not Ryan Johnson. With the $1, you are overvaluing Karoga and Turtistan. You will double their GDP. They won't use the money wisely. I never promised to use money wisely. Captain Cat says, damn, add some gravy and that would feed a couple of families. North Korea, they literally did try to breed giant rabbits to feed their population. The thought was that rabbits breed so quickly that was one way to actually get protein for these starving North Korean people, was to just breed giant rabbits. Now, I don't know how it turned out. I didn't care to ask, but I for reasons I just don't think it turned out well. Perhaps they tried to weaponize the giant rabbits. That could be. Anti-Trigger says, dang, I'd love to see Anti try to chase Strawberry. She is 9 pounds heavier. And Anti-Trigger says, Strawberry is heavier. Yes, I got that. Yeah. Hector says, I'm surprised if that dog chases a bowl of food. Oh, you don't put down the beagle's willingness to chase food. Cinnabon says, when he's bad, I tell him he's going to be cotton. He's going to be mittens and a set of keychains. Thomas Potts' says Twitter is down worldwide. Okay. We're back. Captain Cat is laughing. Life with Matthew says, Captain Cat, how's it going? Epic Beard says, rip Twitter. Never liked you much anyway. I gotta tell you, when I'm on Twitter lately, I feel dirty. I feel like I check it at least once a day, because I try to check at least once a day, because people, comment to me and reply to me. And I retweet things and I tweet things. But the more time I spend on Twitter, the dirtier I feel. Like it's a toxic place. And I'm not saying it's toxic because of any one ideology or whatever, but just in general. It's more toxic than even Facebook for some reason. It is like the most toxic social network. And it's a shame that it is the most easiest to use and easiest way to communicate with celebrities or supposedly celebrities and politicians and stuff, that we give so much weight to Twitter, because it's not a nice place. It's not a good place. Captain Cat says, good mate, life with Matthew. Dan23 says, the dog on Star Trek Enterprise, Porthos, got more fan mail than anyone else. Cinnabon Bunny says, Anti-Tracker Strawberry would definitely make the mistake of trying to fight Anti. He's kind of an idiot. Poor Strawberry. Captain Cat says, don't call him an idiot. Anti-Tracker says, not necessarily an idiot. I think Strawberry would win. Anti-Trigger says Anti would just fall asleep. Not Ryan Johnson says, Shronmore, I thought I was tripling their GDP. I know they'd waste the money. Nicole says, try Azani of Kodiak Pride was the Klingon type person. Oh, Tyre Azari of Kodiak Pride was the Klingon type person on Andromeda, I suppose. Cinnabon is laughing. Joseph says, my dogs would probably cuddle the bunny. I don't know. Sassy, if Sassy could catch up with it, I don't know. I don't think it would be good. Shrown Wars is not Ryan Johnson. It would be really great to see what ridiculous things they would do with the money. John Meyer says it was 25% necessary. Nicole says, thought it was for artistic reasons for the 25%. John Meyer says legalities and the merch. Yeah, that makes the most sense. Of all the theories, the 25% different for merchandising rights makes the most sense. And I tend to agree that that's probably the truth. Actor says, oh dear, even at 2X, the lady's birthday antidote was long. Nicole says solid gold toilets, maybe. If I could buy a solid gold toilet with $3, I sure as hell would. Not Ryan Johnson says, Shronmore, this week's episode, the Krogan Emperor chases his Jeep due to Turtistan pile of poop on the road. All hell breaks loose. Actor says, a Turtistan pile of poop, you mean a monument? Yes. The monument to Anti-Tracker. John Meyer says, when did I get a wrench? Oh my god. Wow, I am way, way behind. 3:30. Oh my god, I'm 45 minutes behind in the chat. Guys, use Birdo 5 if you want me to read it, because we might get to a point where I have to skip over comments, because I got a hard break by like 4:45. So, I will do my best to catch up, but from this point on, just if you have something you really want me to read, make sure you put at Birdo 5. And I'm going to skip over hellos, goodbyes, and talking conversations between each other. Derek McManus says, had to leave to see the Mad Band. The holiday has begun. Very cool. John Myers says, maybe my memory is screwy. And a couple I'd read. Not Ryan Johnson says, to actor, that would depend on what country is watching the episode. Epic Beard says, trolls get wrenches on this channel. I'm proof. Well, if you've been here enough times, and I think you're decent, and you're not going to purposely abuse it, you probably get a wrench. Actor says, I knew he would say that about deserving a Jeep. Yes, not everybody. Not everybody. Nicole says, if I could afford to get a hearse, I would drive. If I could afford the gas. If I could afford the gas, a hearse, I would drive. So you would drive a hearse if you could afford the gas. That is interesting. John Araki says, it's 7-Eleven day and there are none near me. I want a free slushie. Is it Slurpee? They got Slurpees. It is 7-Eleven. That's right. I don't even know if they do that around here. Thomas Potts says, Bird, 99.9% of wrenches. How could we abuse it? Well, I don't know. John Meyer says, one man, one Jeep. Rudy says to Joseph that he nailed phonetics on my surname. Very cool. So if only I remembered it. Olenek. Olenek. Very cool. Rudy Olenek. Epic Beard says, I'll have one for you, John. I have 6 miles away. I'm like 6 blocks away, and there's like 4. There are 4 within, well, there's 3 within walking distance. John Myers says, which does nothing for me, obviously. John Myers says, we need a super chat where DJ gets his bunny suit from Aliens, a la the greatest American hero. Nicole says, drive by really slowly at the old folks' home. No, never mind, that would be mean. Actor says, there's a lot of different from the dumpster diving real origin, John Meyer. Addie and Stara says, Voyager equaled the best Star Trek, Captain Janeway for life. Okay, Addie. Addie's been drinking again. John Myers says, DJ's hiding the truth. Joseph Patrick says, I am the self-proclaimed expert on Slavic things in the local nerd community, Rudy. Then some messages I read. Chris Purser says, have a great day, everyone. Time for my yearly checkup at the doctors. Qapla, Chris Purser, and good luck at the doctor. John Araki says, when Starfleet finally contacted Voyager, did they ever say anything about the equinox? No, don't talk about the equinox. Leave that out of the logs. That's what Janeway said. Josh Street says, Bird is over an hour behind in the chat. Nicole says, I am the self-proclaimed expert on nothing. And John Myers' Potts is trying to summon Beetlejuice. Dan23 says, in the TOS wink of an eye, there is an away team on the planet. One of them disappears. Later in the episode, Spock replays footage on the bridge view screen. I am wondering who was recording the away mission. That is a good question, especially since in the Menagerie, Kirk clearly says that no starship keeps records this detailed. When the Telosians were playing the clips of the cage on the screen, Kirk said this didn't come from any sensors or anything on the starship. There's nothing that records this detailed. It was all a Telosian mind trick, but yeah. So that's a continuity break there. Very good. Mike Richardson's in the house. Greetings from Columbus, Ohio. Bird and Anti-Tracker. Welcome, Mike Richards, and welcome from Columbus, Ohio. Nicole says, far side of the moon here. Well, as long as you can get a signal, that's fine. Joseph says, Bird of Prey, if you want people to watch the credits, right, do it the Marvel way with a post-credit scene. John Araki throws in a generic AOC reference. Not Ryan Johnson says, I think Thomas has been sniffing glue again. Actor says, what is the best oil for making sapska salad? And he's asking Joseph. Dan23 says, in one episode of Voyager was mentioned that some deep space ships were on their way and would be there for 5 years. Message from Starfleet Admiral Hayes? I don't recall that one. Thomas is asking, how long does it take Teespring to ship? I don't know. They ship from different things depending on what you order. The first order I did priority for like an extra $3, and I got it like 4 or 5 days later. The second order I did not do it priority, and I haven't gotten it yet. But you can track it. If you go to Teespring, you should be able to track your order, and they should tell you what's going on with it. But I ordered stuff the same day you did, Thomas, and I haven't gotten it yet. So I haven't even gotten notice that it shipped yet to be true, but I don't know if I will. John Myers says, post-credit Bird with an eye patch. Let me tell you about the Kuroga Initiative. Not Ryan Johnson says, okay, I read that. Nicole says, City Morgue, you stab them, we slab them. John Meyer, Thundercats, ho! Dan says, I don't like getting automated phone calls on the landline, end up having to take a survey and press loads of numbers. The best thing is to just ignore it. Don't press any buttons. If you press a button, I know they connected. And there's a service called No Mo Robo, nomorobo.com, I believe, nomorobo.com. You can Google it. And if you have a modern phone system where it can ring in 2 places at once, you can sign up for them, and they will filter out most robocalls. That said, the ones I get clearly have not been filtered out. So, Nicole says numbers. Joseph's excuse me. Joseph is talking in a language I can't speak. Hector says, I can't refrain myself. I must comment about the choice of light blue t-shirt over brown sheets. What's the problem? Is that like having orange and red? I don't know.
No, it's just, but you really didn't have any beige or brown.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I did pick the sheet color. I guess I kind of picked I put the shirt on. I wasn't even worried about what the shirt looked like. I think this is actually a brand new sheet. First time on the bed. But thank you, Hector. Thank you for noticing. John DeMarco says, never turn your back on a Jeep. Very true. Nicole says, that's why I use jacks and jack stands. Addie in stereo tells me that Twitter is back. Thank you, Addie. Hector says, Asterio. I misspelled it. Nicole says, dingbat. Yes, that's the correct pronunciation. Hector says, okay, whatever. I'm sorry. I don't have time to worry about AOC's middle name. Sharon Moore says, Berto Pray 5. I'm sure AOC will find 2 million votes. I read that in the back of a sofa. Mike Richards says, does Kuroga export evil killer Jeeps? No, I wish we don't have the Jeep contract. Fiat still has that. And something I read already by Ozzy. Nicole says, no, that is an added extra you pay for. I put in the link to the Deep Space Nine documentary. Dan says, I hate spelling the word number. Okay. Hector says, I would rather spend that money in a Bird of Prey anti-tracker super chat. Well, that's very, I appreciate that. Tiki of Doom says, lol the peeper. Thomas is anonymous sauce. Was it marinara? I fixed that. I said it. Source. I corrected myself. Hector says, yes, he looks like our Peter Quinn in like 20 years. And Hector says, Shazoon. Shazoon? Sean Moore says, Tiki of Doom, the Peeper is better than the Flasher. Tiki of Doom says, I can't wait for the Peeper vs. Creeper crossover. Not Ryan Johnson says, 200,000 say they'll go. 5 will show up and get arrested. Hector says, Anti-Dog is watching Area 51. They don't have a chance in hell of surprising the base. Epic Beard says, fake news. It's not storming 51. They are storming Kuroga to free the citizens. Not true. Not true, Epic. Hector says, less people than the ones planning to raid Kuroga. Thomas says, why would you warn Bird of Prey, Epic? So there's somebody planning to storm Kuroga, you say. Surf Trick Tony says, now they will charge the Air Force Base for a real cause of the news. Yeah. Nicole says, Kuroga has free Friday ice cream. That's where 200,000 are going. Dan23 says, if you Google are Men in Black real? John DeMarco says, there will be nothing to find since Quark and company escaped. Very true. As did the Professor, Fry, Leela, Bender, and Zoidberg. Nicole says, highly trained men are not going to mistake a weather balloon for anything other than a weather balloon. I would agree. Dan23 says, in England, we get documentary on channels on TV, so that's where you watch about Area 51. Lots of shows about UFO sightings and stuff. Yeah, well, it's on our cable channels here. Actor says, Anti-Tracker Health Insurance just announced his back pains are thoroughly debunked. Very funny. Rudy says, I heard the aliens from the Roswell crash were little Russian pilots. That's another possibility. Thomas says now Berto Praise claiming to have insiders, of course. Hector says Beagleception, yes. Dan says people at Roswell say the aliens that crashed there are Greys. Hector says the Beaglist people. Thomas says Berto Praise, please check Discord. Saw this last night going to work. And Dan says Futurama is good. Thomas, I don't have time. Oh man, okay. Checking Discord, Thomas. Checking Discord. This is all Thomas's fault. Blame Thomas. Let's see. Oof. Oh man. Is that what I think it is? Okay. Well, we'll bring it up. We will bring it up in the browser. No. There we go. So, I don't know. That looks like, to me, the original Ghostbusters car. But I'm sure it's not. I'm sure it's just like a model, the same model car that Ghostbusters was based off of. An old Hertz, or ambulance, perhaps. Circa 1950, perhaps. Very, very cool. Surprised it's on a car transport with cars that aren't wrecked. But I guess it's being sent to a collector or something. Hopefully it'll get restored. I don't like to see cars in that shape. But very cool, Thomas. Okay, you get a pass. You get a pass for having me go to Discord. Actor says the Beaglist people. I think I read that. Tiki of Doom says Bird Crotic has an insider. Surf Tricktonic says that it was a high altitude balloon with a space capsule that had chimps inside with pressure suits testing for the Mercury program. Burnt apes look like aliens. Actor says Captain Redneck. Is Captain Redneck here? I don't see. I've got live chat. I don't have top chat on. Epic Beard says, dong it, the beagle went away. Sorry. Nicole says, the paper ran with the flying saucer. Sources. The flying saucer. Found. Then it's a weather balloon. You cannot make a weather balloon into a UFO, so logically something odd crashed. I agree. Dan says, someone said it had a number on the dog collar. I don't see a number. Let me just take a quick look. If there is a number, I'll bring it back up, but zoom in. It looks like it has a J. It looks like it has a J. Let me see if I can. I'll zoom this in with my image editor. Let's see. Is there anything there? It is clearly a J. It's clearly a J. Huh, that's interesting. Okay, I'll bring this up for you guys to see. So I guess it's not Rupert. I guess it's something to do with a J. He didn't name the dog Jean-Luc, I hope. Or unless Jean-Luc's consciousness has been transferred into the dog somehow, perhaps via Q. Let's see. 500%. That should do it. Edit copy. Okay. I should get that Stream Deck. That would make this easier. Okay. So here we go. Here is the zoomed in image. And there we see that is clearly, to me, it's clearly a J. So I'm assuming it's a dog's initial. I suppose it could be a 1 with a dot here or something, but that doesn't make any sense. It looks like a J to me, especially when you zoom out a bit. So We have, oh, look at that. We've got a mystery here. I don't know that we've solved a mystery, but we've got breaking news here on the Bird of Prey BedLife stream. Captain Redneck was rumored to be my insider, says Hector. I got it. Daniel's Hot Topics is Bird of Prey. The Bulldog and Picard poster is adorable. I bet the dog's name is Barkley. Aha, Barkley. I get it. Very cool. But I think now I think the dog's name has a J in it. Let's see. So thank you, Dan. Ozzy says that the galaxy is a big place. I read that. Dan says there was an unproduced episode of Star Trek Enterprise where the dog was supposed to communicate with a dog-like alien species. That sounds weird. Agner says a horned poodle alien. That's what. You know what? That would have been great. Because if they had brought that in, since Sulu had that horned alien he was carrying around that time. Daniel's Hot Topic says, when is Anti-Trekker coming online? Usually around 8:30 p.m. on a night like this, but I'll see if he answers. Thomas puts the link to Anti-Trekker's Twitter status. Actor says, I used to know his schedule, but I'm unsure. John DeMarco says, I think Anti-Trekker streams around 8:30 Eastern on Thursdays. Yes. Mondays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. Mondays, Thursdays, and Fridays, 8:30. Tuesdays and Wednesdays, around 11 a.m. Eastern. And Sunday mornings, around 8 a.m. Eastern. Schroenwar says, Bird is singing in Earth's Dead Man Switch, the event of total annihilation by an alien race, our last and most deadly weapon, the final spite, salting of the planet. Dan says, Rey may die in Star Wars Episode 9. Wow. Daniel's Hot Topic says, Neurotic hates the idea of Picard being an action series. You'll lose Neurotic. They're not listening to you. Well, that's fine. I don't expect why Neurotic would be listening to me. Thomas says, Bird of Prey, the Starfleet symbol has a hole in it. It didn't look like a hole. Thomas says she was testifying to grand jury. Okay, I read that. Daniel's Hot Topic, Mr. Pink Bunny loves disco, I can tell. Nicole says, Dan23, Rey may die in Star Wars Episode 9. Yes, amen. So say we all. Yosef says, Pink Bunny, Jack Daniels times. Kennewick Sapiens in the house. His brother ran into Patrick Stewart in a bathroom at a London restaurant a couple of years ago. The closest degree of separation I have with Star Trek in real life. Very cool, Kennewick. So many questions. Joseph says, Pink Bunny, okay, Jack Daniels time. Hector says, no, Ray, don't die, please, no. Read in Willy Wonka's voice. Dan23 says, YouTube edit, don't like, always saw some that has a phone conversation between two characters on completely different shows. YouTube edit, don't like, always I saw some that has a phone conversation between two characters on completely different shows. Okay, I'm a little lost on that one. Nicole says, no, I was a bad girl, credit card debacle. Oh, sorry to hear that, Nicole. Hope it wasn't too bad. Thomas says, they aren't listening to any. The writers don't give a crap about Trek fans. That is true. Tiki of Doom, lol, gotta love the nuts. Epic Beard says, nut lover, unsubbed. Dan23 says, YouTubers like Mike Zero has a lot of information about Star Wars 9. Life with Matthew. Yeah, I lost it. Gotta find my place. There we go. Life with Matthew says, the coat Picard is wearing looks pretty brown. Cinnabon Bunny says, sure, I'll post in your Discord when I get home from work. Thank you, Cinnabon. I'll put it up on the next stream. Actor says Peru has a giant guinea pigs for that purpose. That was in a couple of South Park episodes. Nicole says dropper. Lightwood Matthews says Twitter is often the sound of one hand clapping. Dan23 says post sci-fi stuff on Twitter. I haven't even got notifications since November 2018. I'm not going to continue to waste my time. Thomas Bott says to me, 99% of the wrenchers, how could we abuse it? Hector is laughing. How long will it take for Teespring to ship? I answered. Dan, I'm watching an episode of Space 1999 on the TV at the same time. Okay. NoMoreHobo.com. No, not No More Hobo. No More Robo. Thomas Bott says, please check. Okay, we did that. We're at 4:28. Okay, good. We're 10 minutes behind. I know you guys went light on the comments. I do thank you. Dan23 says Futurama was good. Actor says, okay, I read that. People are using the 8-ball. Actor says maybe female is Janine. Maybe it's female, so Janine. That would be a weird name. You wouldn't name your dog the female version of your own name. Sharon Moore says actually it's a B in the Romulan alphabet. B for Beverly. It's possible. Actor says confirmed. Thomas Bott says Birthday Starfleet symbol has a hole in it. I don't believe so. And Thomas asked the 8-ball as if the Kroger is the worst place on Earth. And the 8-ball answers, the answer is within yourself. Lol. Epic Beard says, yep, confirmed. Bird prefers being behind. Can't argue with the all-knowing AI bot. Thomas says, no, I'm not going to read 8-ball stuff now. Kennewick came in the house. I read that. Sharon wanted. Okay, well, the 8-ball doesn't know that answer. Actor says the poster is photoshopped to Kurdistan and back. I'm not sure what's in the real photo. Daniel's Hot Topic says it's sad that I cannot send you things on Discord anymore, Bird. I wanted to send you something cool. You love it. Why can't you? You're not banned. The only thing you have to do is verify your email address to be on my server. You have to verify your email with Discord. If you can't do it with the account, make another account. And you should be able to send it to me directly because we're both on Anti-Tracker server, I believe. Actor says, or at least Doomcock server, as long as we have one server in common. Actor says the bot doesn't want to respond to the same question twice. It's ignoring you. Dan says, Patrick Stewart says he may not be captain anymore. He may not be the Jean-Luc you recognize anymore or know so well. It may very well be a different individual. Someone who has been changed by his experiences. Yeah, that was his first stuff. And that was a big reason. Big reason to be worried. Kennewick says, I'm thinking Tuesdays with Maury, starring Jean-Luc Picard. And Thomas puts in a Google search. No, I know I shouldn't click on this. Where are we? Okay, I'll click on it. Oh, good, because we're right near the end. Joseph says this was such a funny stream and no singing. Soon to be asleep, so bye, everybody. Good night, Joseph. Good night. Epic Beard says, have a good weekend, folks. Happy Friday. It is Thursday. Epic Beard is smiling. Mike Richards says, farewell from Columbus, Ohio. Take care, Mike Richards, and thank you for showing up and hanging out with us today. Daniel's Hot Topic says, I can't remember my email, so I can't verify. Well, you can make another email on, Gmail or something, and just make a temporary account with that. So Thomas put a link to Starfleet, the Google search for Starfleet. Within this fictional universe, Starfleet is a uniform service maintained by United Federation of Planets, the Federation. as the principal means for conducting deep space exploration, research, defense, peacekeeping, and diplomacy. Although Starfleet predates the Federation, have originally been an Earth... ... okay, Thomas. I'm not sure what the point of that was, but sure. Whatever. So what are we at? We're at 4:43. Okay, I told somebody I would sing a song, so I will do that, and then I'm ending the stream, so end the comments. Actor says goodbye, Mama Pray, and chat. Look at the Starfleet logo, says Thomas. Look at the Starfleet logo. Starfleet Command, United Federation of Planets. Oh, it's got a hole in it. Thomas. Okay. Yes, but the insignia. Okay, we're gonna. This is, yes, fine. The Starfleet logo has a hole in it, but the insignia, like they're using in the Picard, they're using as the A in Picard, doesn't have a hole in it. A comm badge doesn't have a hole in it. Multi-Gun Man says, hey Bird, how's it going? It's going good, Multi-Gun Man. Just about to sing a song and call it a day. Kennewick says, I get what Thomas Potts is saying about the logo. Yeah, I got it too now. I understand what he's saying. But it's also, we've seen it many times without a hole in it. Okay. Daniel's Hot Topics says, Bird of Prey, I just finished watching X-Men Dark Phoenix, and parts were bad, but the end was good. It's sad they won't make any more X-Men movies in this universe. I don't have any plans on seeing Dark Phoenix, but I'm glad you liked it. Yeah, it's sad, the end of an era, but who knows? Maybe it'll be better. I don't know. So, this was a request by Wesley Crusher. Traitor. You know what? He's a traitor now. I shouldn't. But I will honor my pack with Wesley the Traitor. This is The Doors, Roadhouse Blues. Yes, Roadhouse Blues by The Doors, the Bird of Prey interpretation. I'm not reading those comments. So you can thank Wesley Crusher. Soon. Keep your eyes on the road, your hands upon the wheel. Hey, keep your eyes on the road, your hands upon the wheel. Like in a Jeep. Yeah, we're going to the roadhouse. Gonna have a real, good time. At the roadhouse. Driving my Jeep to the roadhouse. Playing some Sinatra. Yeah, the back of the roadhouse, they got some bungalows. You can get some crack. Oh, at the back of the roadhouse, they got some bungalows where you can buy some crack. And that's for the people who like to go down slow. Let it roll, baby, roll. Let it roll, baby, roll. Let it roll, baby, roll. Hey, let it roll. We're letting all these babies roll down the hill because we're on crack. All night long, do it. Do it, Robbie, do it. Keep rolling those babies. Oh, you can't do it. You gotta strike. You gotta strike in baby bowling. The baby knocked over 12 bottles. Oh, that's good. That's pretty good for first time, Robbie. baby bowling, the national pastime of Kuroga. Of course, we don't use Kuroga babies. We use Kurdistani ones. You gotta roll, roll, roll. You gotta roll. Thrill my soul. All right. Roll. Roll, 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 roll those babies. I feel my soul. They got a peepa, conka, coo, choo, chomp, kaku, ka. I don't, that's what the sound the babies make as they're rolling down the hill. Boppa me, chew, eat some funk. Yeah, right. Those babies, they just keep on rolling. Passion lady. Passion lady. Make some more babies for us to roll. Give up your vows. Give up your vows. We need more babies. Save our city. Save our city. Right now. Well, I woke up this morning. I got myself a beer because I had to drink away those memories of the rolling babies. Well, I woke up this morning, I got myself another beer. The future's uncertain, and the end is always near, especially if you're a Kurdistani baby. Let it roll, baby, roll. Let it roll, baby, roll. Let it roll, baby, roll. Hey, yeah, let it all roll. Let them rolling down the hill. Up. I got a 7-10 split all night long. Oh, those poor Kurdistani babies. That was to Wesley, the traitor known as Wesley Crusher. So, okay, guys, I gotta get out of here, but let's see. Bird is air guitar is legendary, says Epic Beard. Tiki says let it roll, baby, roll. Dan says some Star Trek comm badges have a gap in them. Hector says it's a ukulele, see the size. Daniel's Hot Topics says Bird of Prey, the rules of time travel today and what they establish in Avengers Endgame is what whenever you go back in time you create a new reality. Yes, I'm aware. Branching off from the old one. Derek says get some crack. I feel like I need a crack now. Dan says comm badges on the Enterprise C, ? Kennewick says are these really the lyrics? Yes. They're really the lyrics in Kuroga. Daniel's Hot Topics is Bird of Prey, so with that in mind, when Wolverine went back and changed things in X-Men, Days of Future Past, he created a new reality, but the old one still exists. I would accept that as true. Tiki of Doom says Bailey Baby Bowling. Was this in Fallout? Lol. Hector says he just admitted an atrocity. It's not an atrocity. It's a national pastime. It's culture. It's history. Derek says, or do you mean crack in the Irish sense, as in what's going on? No, we meant crack, as in the drug derived from cocaine. Epic Beard says, my daughter walked in and asked, what the F is that? Yeah, it's the Doors, you should have told her. Does Bird of Prey fantasize about AOC as his nurse? And Streamlabs got it right. Joseph says the stream went dark very quickly. Agner says now I have to make a cure bird. Derek says it's just everyday internet madness, mostly harmless. Okay, I gotta skip through. Now on iTunes, Bird legally distinct parody of all songs you love for only $2.99. Yosef will have nightmares. Chief Cook says, hey guys, what's going on? We're just about to end, Chief Cook. Sean Moore says, well, that answers it. 8-ball confirmed. I do not fantasize about AOC as my nurse. Very true. Thomas says, Bird of Prey, thanks for singing. My cats are no longer afraid of the vacuum. Joseph is going to take another shot of whiskey. Actor says, I have the audio. Someone knows the address of the FBI. Nicole says, later bird, stay safe. Thank you, Nicole. Sean, where's the bird of prey? Always love when you sing. It's always entertaining and always fun. Well, thank you. Derek says, Epic Beard, I remember when my Maddie was young, I took her onto the base with my friends. We're preparing for a parachute jump. Out on the runway, she watched in a 7-year way and then asked, are your friends okay? Wouldn't recommend it. That's what happened to the Anti-Trekker show. What happened, Anti-Trekker show? It'll be on about 8:30 tonight, in all likelihood. Okay, guys, Qapla, thank you so much. Good stream today, good fun. I think we're up to almost 30 people at one point. So that was pretty cool for an early stream. Take care. I got physical therapy. Hopefully see you guys on Anti-Trekker stream later. And enjoy your day. What's left of it. Thank you all for watching my video. Please remember to comment, like, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that bell icon. Without it, you won't get notifications of new videos. Check out BirdOPrey5.com, the new home of everything Bird O' Prey 5 on the web. You can also check out my forum at juot.net. I'm also on social media, on Facebook, Twitter, and Gab. If you'd like to make a donation, check out paypal.me/BirdOPrey5 or on BirdOPrey5.com. Take care.